Hi and welcome to this episode of Zeitgeist podcast with Niklas and Flo. Hi, I'm Niklas.
Hi, I'm Flo.
Today we're gonna talk about something you recently started, and that is kind of posting more on TikTok and Instagram. And I'm really interested in knowing how this is going, Flo. So yeah, maybe as an intro, what's your feeling about it? How long have you been doing this?
It's an definitely interesting experience. I do this. I started in July when I stayed for a few weeks in New York, and I was thinking about it for months actually to do it. But first, I was like thinking about this kind of weird talking into the camera. I'm not really used to that. Um, it felt like cringy listening to myself and coming up with ideas and scripts and all the stuff to do things. I believe the first, I would say 10 videos, I've never released them because it felt so awkward looking at the videos. So at first I started doing some kind of interviews with myself, try to find some kind of a comedian approach for different things I am experienced at work. And yeah, long story short, I started by the end of July with some kind of mindset and motivational videos. You remember when we talked about the book, The Atomic Habits? This was basically one of the first topics I was talking about in my TikToks and Instagram videos.
And how this is going, basically. So content-wise, motivational videos, you also have some more controversial videos, I would say. Like, what's your feeling now? What's going well? What's not going so well?
So definitely the videos where people can really rely on. Right now, I'm talking a little bit about healthcare and my personal experience I had since I moved to the US, and obviously from my experience in Germany. Same thing with work ethics. And I also try to talk about day to day stuff a few weeks ago when they released the new iPhone. And then also some stuff I pick up on the news about, when a company filed for bankruptcy in Germany. I'm talking about reasons I am thinking about, and then just try to spark a little bit the conversions in the comments with my, you know, followers.
Yeah, that's quite interesting. And maybe why did you start this?
Actually, I just wanted to try something new. I'm using personally a lot social media. I'm watching reels. I'm watching and listening to stuff on YouTube and obviously on TikTok. And I always thought this kind of interesting, and I just wanted to try some new stuff.
Yeah, okay. And when you had that first video, walk me through it. You put it online. It felt maybe a bit cringe. How many views did you get?
Oh, my first video, maybe like 100 views or 200, something like this.
On TikTok, right? And for people that know TikTok, 100 views on TikTok is
Yeah,
actually not
that's the cool
that
thing
big.
about the algorithm on TikTok, that it's spreading it out to 100 or 200 viewers. And if the video is good, it goes to a larger group of viewers. So sometimes you get lucky, sometimes not. I
And
heard
you
a lot about the algorithm that is like some kind of rewarding content creators who consistently uploading new stuff. I'm not sure. I have one video which has like 53,000 views now. Um, I guess this is this kind of reward I received from TikTok
Yeah, and that's how long have you been doing this? Just as a reference, you started in
in
July
July. Yeah, now we have September. Like
and
it's
daily.
August. Yeah,
Yeah,
daily.
yeah,
I
okay.
try to upload like 2 to 3 videos.
And do you see like a trend? Is it like growing, or is it stagnant? What's your feeling?
It is growing definitely. I mean, not as I was wishing for. Sometimes I see content creators which have like half of the videos I have, but already like thousands of followers. So I definitely try to adapt this to my strategy because at the end, I guess it's a personal feeling, right? I mean, we follow people because we like their personal attitude, something like this.
Yeah, or we just want to be entertained, you know? I think there are different things. I follow, now that I think about it, I recently followed a channel on Instagram actually. It's a guy and a girl, and they basically trick themselves by like popping water balloons above the other person in their flat. It's quite funny, which is filled with, I think, shaving cream and water. And as they trick each other, I really find it funny. Like, it looks
Yeah,
very
I
natural,
believe
and
I
they
know
are
what you
just
mean.
pranking each other. Yeah, and these
I
kind of
believe
things, I would. Yeah,
I think the most important thing as a content creator, you have to, you know, ask yourself, what do you want to bring to your community? What kind of message? What is it? What should they get from your videos? And for me, it's really like I like to, share my experience I make on a daily basis. No
yeah,
matter if it's like in the business world or like in my personal ongoing stuff.
yeah. That's very interesting. And then you go TikTok and Instagram, and if you look at those two platforms, which one do you like better till now, and which one has more success?
I definitely like TikTok at the moment better. I believe long term, if you're becoming successful, probably Instagram is maybe the platform to be. I'm not sure. It's quite too hard to tell. I think it depends what your goal is. If you want to make money at some point, I think it is interesting that TikTok already got the TikTok shop, and you can basically promote products from the shop. But I'm not there yet.
Yeah, I, and it feels like TikTok really gets you a lot of reach if you have that kind of video that kind of goes viral. Like, the algorithm seems to help, from what I heard. Did
Yep.
you have, like, if you look at your videos and you did some guesswork beforehand, can you estimate the performance of the video, or is it completely different? Would you have guessed the best performing video?
No, definitely not. I honestly, I even forgot to put a title on the video. So
It's very
it's
interesting.
still, it's still a learning process for me. I'm not really good
Yeah,
in editing videos. I do just really the basic stuff, editing the beginning, the end of the video,
yeah.
maybe do something with the sound, put the music in,
And what's the part that you
overvoice.
love most about creating these videos? What do you enjoy the most?
I really think it's like getting my message out. If I'm talking about like some business ideas or mindset, it's basically stuff I feel is important for myself. And I like to help others with my point of view.
Think that's good. So you're very strong on building a personal brand, right? So your goal is to kind of position yourself as a
At some
person.
point, yeah, I mean, I would say no.
Yeah, that's interesting. And when you look ahead, like, I know you've been sales marketing for a long time. How about building some kind of a community? Have you thought about that?
I mean, it's, as I said, everything is like really fresh, but I believe if I have some certain amount of followers, it definitely makes sense to build something around this community, like having a newsletter, maybe even writing a book, something like this, something which really helps the community to thrive.
Yeah, sounds interesting. And then maybe learning curve to now, something really exciting for our viewers that you would like to share that they could profit from?
Uh, you mean something what I'm planning in my like near future?
Yeah, also what you learned, not necessarily topic wise, but like generally when you started now consistently posting.
Um, I guess it's, I mean, from time to time, you see a lot of really good and successful content creators on both platforms. And for me, it is really helpful listening to them and learning from them because they already knew how it works. So I guess it is important to have a really good hook, a nice like, message to your community, stuff like this. But I wouldn't, I think the most important thing is not to overthink stuff. If you start looking at your video and think, I would like to make some tweaks here and there, and I would change 10 different things, you will end up never uploading this video. So just post it and then learn from your experience.
That sounds good. If you look ahead a bit, where would you like to be in, like, say, 3 months from now? What's your goal?
I don't know, maybe more followers, more likes, stuff like this.
How many followers do you now have on TikTok?
Around 600. It's not that much, but I mean, at the
Yeah,
end,
but
there are like 600 people who didn't know me a few months ago, and now they're
yeah, and it
listening to me.
compounds, right? So,
And I
like,
always see it like, at the end, and then we're back with the video with the 50,000 views. If you just imagine staying on stage and 50,000 people listening to what you have to say, it's a lot.
that's true. And it's also, I think, looking ahead, I mean, if you manage to, I assume that your growth is slowly increasing. Maybe it's not, but if you have like compounding effects, then later on you will just grow so much faster. Like,
I
that
guess,
would be
yeah.
my assumption. Yeah,
It's like with the most things in life, right? I mean, people are saying
yeah,
like making the first 10,000 euros is the hardest. After that, it gets easier. And then
absolutely.
same thing,
Like,
probably like with a million or whatever. So I guess it's the same thing with followers. The first 1,000 are the hardest, and then maybe the next 10,000 are getting easier, and then the next goal is 1 million followers. And this is like hard, whatever.
final advice for anybody listening. They wanted to start out journey on social media. What
Just
advice would you give them?
just do it. Don't overthink. Just do it. Think about what you want to share and then just create videos.
Thank you, Flo. I think this is awesome advice. For you viewing, please like and subscribe, and see you on our next episode. This was this episode of Zeitgeist Podcast.
Bye bye.